I'd like to call the budget meeting to order. Adoption of the 2026 budget. Heidi?
Yes, we are here to pass our budget for 2026. The ordinance number right at the top is 251014-1. There were no changes from our last meeting. All the numbers are the same as what was presented before. This is just if you choose to adopt these numbers so that we can present them to the state of Indiana. And again, these are the appropriated numbers. They are not the funds that we have in the bank at this point, and I will talk about that a little later on. So now I'm just asking you to look over the numbers and decide if you'd like to approve this or not.
How much difference is this in the budget estimate you give us?
They're the same.
They're the same?
They are the
Okay,
same.
well, I brought that. That's the reason I asked.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good.
The budget estimate is where that is more your line items in the budget estimate, and this is together. So.
A summary of that.
Correct.
Yeah, okay.
Now, Parks and Recreation, we do have money in there. That is where they have cut us in the last few years due to our financial circumstances. So when this goes to the state, if approved, when it comes back, that number might be quite different.
Higher or lower?
Lower. We had 0 in parks last year.
Okay. Wow.
And then the cumulative capital development, we're leaving that higher if we do get through the audit and we are able to get funds or grants so that we're able to start some projects.
That'd be good. Be quite a dry spell.
Yeah.
Looks good to me.
Yeah.
Do we need a motion now, or?
Yes.
I move we adopt this ordinance for our 2026 budget.
I'll second the motion.
Any further questions or discussion? Seeing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Okay, then we have to sign this sheet of paper?
I have one here. That's just your copy.
Okay.
So, yeah, it has your name and then you just check where you approved. So I think the signature is in the blue next to your name there. And then this will get submitted on Gateway and will go to the state.
Good deed. Thank you for the work you put into that.
Do you remember to sign that, will you?
I will. I have to, yes.
Is there any other business we need to talk about this time?
I have some, but I don't know if you gentlemen have any.
I don't.
Go ahead.
Okay. And I'll try to make this so it's not too long. The first thing is the ILMCT, the clerk treasurer, and the State Board of Accounts is having another called meeting, but this is all virtual. And there is a lot of topics like W-2 and different things that I feel like it would be good for me to attend this, but it will be in the office, but I won't be available because I'll be in class, but I will be here if Tiffany would need me. And I believe the cost for the full, it's November 4th through the 6th, so the registration cost for those 3 days is $125. And that also gives me continuing education credits, which if I continue going down that path, I might actually become a certified clerk treasurer for
You
the
need
town.
to do it.
in that, so
Pursue
that's
that.
what we're working for.
Sure.
So we want a motion to that effect then?
Yeah, to approve the cost for my training.
I make a motion, we approve the training registration for however you pronounce it, Institute and Academy Virtual Series, November 4th through 6th.
I'll second that.
Okay, any further questions or discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
So the next thing that I wanted to bring up that we need to start thinking about this year is raises, which I had mentioned I only put a 2% increase in the budget, and Dean and I have spoke a little bit about so that I can work with Ben on getting the salary ordinance done for 2026. Are we going to go with the zero raise, 1%, 2%? Are we going to go across the board, or do we want to do individual merit? That is up for you gentlemen to discuss and decide, but we need to maybe have a decision at this meeting or our next regular board meeting, what we think. But while I'm also bringing this up, I wanted to make you aware our bank balances that I'm working with every month, general is generally under 100,000 a month as in funds that we have in the bank. And just, payroll is 15 to 20,000 2 times a month out of that 100,000. So then that only leaves about 80,000 in general, and we get a couple $10,000 bills. I don't like to go under a certain amount in those accounts, and that's in general. Sewer is a little bit better, but not as much as it used to be. And the 2016 bond was partially paid off. So we actually are losing revenue because their payments dropped from 90, 105 to 5010. So we didn't lose quite half, but like 40% of the payment. And I have looked in the past to see if there was any type of plan on how to continue to making those bond payments, because we still have those. And Financial Service Group is helping with that a little bit, and that's why we are doing our sewer rate studies and water rate studies, because I really hate to raise the rates on the residents again since we just implemented stormwater. It would have been better if stormwater had been implemented when it was supposed to be, and we could have had a year's break. But I'm juggling bills to get through, and that's not even including the new audit, the tax issue, and different things that we're not having to pay yet, but will be in the future that will affect us. So I just kind of wanted to, well, not a lot of people, make you all aware of that.
So, but these are expenses you can forecast fairly accurately that are coming down the road.
Well, the audit cost, do you remember what she said? Was it 400 a day for town?
486, wasn't it?
It was close to 500 a day for them to be in here, and then 900 for the utilities, I believe was what she said. We had our opening conference for the auditors, and then we ran into a snag. They decided they did not like some of the reconciliation work that was done from local government services with Susie. So we have 30 days to straighten that out, to get them back in here and get that straightened out. And I reached out to Kurt, and Kurt said it's not a legal question, it's an accounting question. Reach out to Financial Services Group. So I did reach out to them, and they we're reached out to local government services. We're gonna try to all work together, possibly with the auditors, to see if we can come to a better resolution. At first, when I reached out to local government services, she's like, I've done my work, I've given them what they asked for, but I spoke with her again, and she said she will reach out to a financial services group and see if we can't come to a conclusion. However, I do not want to wait 6 or 8 months, and if we can't figure this out, there may come a time where we need to reach out to our state representatives and say, we've got to get through this. We
Right.
cannot go any more years with this not being correct.
Right.
So that might be something we have to do. I met and have talked with a couple different town managers about what I feel are some financial issues that we have. And one is paying for things that don't directly benefit the town, which I believe you all are aware about how I feel, how much it costs to do the vacation. And according to other town managers, they do not pay for that. That's on the person doing it. They're responsible for getting their survey. Why I'm bringing this up, because that's in the past. 2 reasons. One, I do have another bill from the attorney where the town is being charged for the mistake that was made by the surveyor, which we had to correct. I do not feel this is our bill. That was the surveyor's mistake. It got through the attorney. I realized it was very complicated, but I do feel that this bill should go to the surveyor or back to the attorney. We spent so much money on that vacation, and according to different town managers that I spoke to, how it works in their towns, if it's something that benefits the individual, they pay for it all. They pay for it all. They get the attorney. They get the survey. They do all of that, and they bring it to the town.
Right.
We have to realize we're not in customer service. We're not pleasing you for your meal. We have to stop paying for things that don't benefit the town, that benefit other people.
Yeah.
And one of the reasons why I bring this up is because now we have this annexation going on. Okay? And I kind of asked questions about this, and what was said was all the costs fall on the person doing it. The roads, the sidewalk, the sewer, the water, and then the town comes in and takes it over after they've paid to do it, because it benefits the person doing it. How does it benefit the town? In the past, people would always say, what would they say? You get the tax money. We don't know that that's going to happen in the future. So I'm concerned because I'm not sure what our attorney's starting and doing and working on as far as the annexation goes. And I know the town will have to be involved, and there will be a little bit of cost, but I'm concerned because we don't want the town's attorney to pay for the annexation like we did the vacation. That was completely wrong. The town didn't benefit. We shouldn't be giving up property that could possibly be developed in the future.
Correct.
Swampland or different things. I see plenty of places around the lakes that have been developed that were swamplands
Oh, yeah.
years ago. So I just want us to be aware of financial costs. Is it a benefit to the town? We need to, ask more questions, slow down. What are you doing? Who should be bearing this cost? Because if we don't get to start doing that, and our bank balances go down, you still have to pay your employees. So I don't know what we want to do about this bill here. It's not a lot. It's $147. I think it should go back to the surveyor
I do
I
too.
think you're correct.
that made the mistake. We weren't asked about that. That's another thing. I feel like too long people have just done what they have wanted from what I'm seeing. And please correct me if I go down the wrong path, because we all know I'm learning. But I feel like, just for instance, where we were trying to get the water lines hooked up and Stouter bored holes in the street. Why are they boring holes in the street without reaching out to the town to tell us they're doing that? Why are people doing things on town property without letting us know? We need to be aware, which brings me to Tiffany and I have spoke, and we believe that it would be wise to add a line to our permits that people sign stating if they have to do anything on town property, that they let us know ahead of time, and it needs to be completed back to its original state, and it needs to be inspected back to its original state, that before we give the permit out, that there's like an initial line that they sign that they're aware of this, and that
They're responsible for
that
it.
they're responsible for any damage, and I feel like we can just add a line if you all decide that's what you think that we should do on our permits, but I feel like it's another way to protect the town. We have it on the permit before your permit is granted, and we can point this out to people before our approval letter is granted. Just be aware, if you're damaging any of the town property, you are financially responsible for fixing it back to its original state or better.
We need a motion to that effect, don't we?
I would think to add the line that you.
Okay, yeah.
Yep.
So I wanna make a
Yeah,
motion.
I'll move we add the line item to our permitting process about responsibilities for doing work on town property.
Do we want to say the consumers, the financial responsibility in that also?
Permit holder.
Yeah, permit holder is financially responsible
Right.
for all of that.
We'll have to come up with specific language for adding to it.
We can, it doesn't have to be a lot, it can just be basic, and
Right.
Did you second, Jeff?
I'll second it.
All those in favor of the motion, say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
is we do it. The way that I've learned that some other towns have functioned, and also we've been trying to educate ourselves now that all the town meetings are on video, watching just to get more information. It doesn't matter if my water lines, I want to put all new water lines in. I don't like my water lines. I don't like the taste somebody's. It doesn't matter. It's my project. I bear the cost, whether or not it goes over to town property. The one town manager, one that I spoke with, there was a project outside of their town. A gentleman wanted to annex. He's paying for everything. He paid to have the sewer put in. He paid for all the lines. Everything falls on the cost of the person doing the project, and then the town takes it over.
Right.
Because it benefits in the long run the people doing the projects. And if you choose not to do your project because of that, that's your choice. I feel like that's been held over our heads a little bit. Maybe we won't do this, or maybe we won't do that. Okay, that's your choice. But we have to get in a position where we are I'm asking you guys on behalf of me, when we're having board meetings or people are approaching us, like the annexation, we have to get in there that they're responsible for all of this. They're responsible for their attorney. So I'm asking you all to help me with this, so in the future we can start to come out of this financial.
Right. Absolutely.
And that's all I have,
Huh, well, that was pretty good.
except the raises. I don't think we came to a conclusion. Do we want to put that off till the next board meeting? You want
Why
time
don't
to
we
think
do it now?
about that?
Nobody
or-
here, we can talk.
Okay. So do you want to do
I say if we can do 2%, let's do it.
Yeah, across the board.
I mean, we technically can't do anything, but we technically are functioning right now. So, and that was where I came up with that percent was on the advice of Financial Services Group, who Tiffany got to hear Charlie speak the other day, and we like working with him. He slows down, he explains, but I asked what other towns were doing with raises because a lot of towns are confused. We don't know what's going to happen with the tax money, and that is always a thing that kind of puts you over the hump. And I feel like all of our employees have been really good about trying not to spend.
Right.
Like I said, Dustin asked if he could buy a special screwdriver that would really help him, and I'm like, yes. And so they've been good, and I think that they understand that we're making progress. And so I feel like they will understand another year or two of that we can't do a lot, but we're looking towards the future. So if you were good with the 2% across the board, I didn't know. I mean, that's not a lot, but it's better than zero, which some towns are doing as well.
That's contingent on what we get as a result of the audit?
No, that's just we do it or we don't do it.
Okay. All right.
I'm glad you include Tiffany in some of that stuff, like with Charlie and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
It's learning for her too.
Yeah.
Anybody else have anything?
We don't know the status of the legislation going through the state right now for how they're gonna substitute property taxes and stuff. Is that
They
still
have,
in process, or are they getting ready to approve it?
they, I think, are looking back on what they have done, and it's still gonna be a huge work in progress.
Okay, so probably won't happen this year then.
I'm not sure. I was told, and I don't know if this is correct or not, but when the legislature looked at that, some of the towns or cities had money set back for different things, like maybe they're looking at this town and they have $5 million set back in this account, but they own their fire department, so that money was set back because they're going to buy a new truck. And so they were thinking that towns and cities had more money than what they did have, but they didn't realize that the smaller towns. So I think it's going to be a huge work in progress.
Okay.
I think it's going to be a little struggle while people realize or don't realize, like the legislature.
Well, they have to keep in mind that they have to make that revenue up somehow, and sales tax could go up significantly.
It could sales tax or
I don't think people like
they've not mentioned a replacement
Right.
for it that they have adopted yet that I'm aware of. And one of the things I did learn was that Noble County's auditor may be able to give an estimate on what our taxes will be. I just learned that by listening to another council meeting. So I might reach out to Ben to see if he could give us that. We do not get a lot of tax money. We get, I want to say, 40,000 a month from both counties, but that helps us tremendously.
Mhm.
So,
Well, that's good news.
yeah. Well, no, that's what we get right now.
Yep.
That's what
Yeah, I
could be
didn't know
dropping.
that. I didn't know that. Yeah.
Okay, anybody else? Meeting is adjourned. take that off.
Are you off?
All right.